number 3, best to rest your body. Brain cell bless up, properly rest up. If not, then fess up, but don't press luck. You be laying on your back saying I messed up. So today, we're talking about rule number 3, which is rest. Rest your body. And
I'm resting.
We have these very comfortable rocking chairs, which are meant to be outside.
Right, but it's Florida, so I'm allergic to Florida, so I rock inside.
Also, you got mosquitoes out there.
Yeah, there's like
we have a lot of space. We don't have a lot of furniture, so we just brought the rocking chairs in.
Yeah, and so here's where I'm resting. If those of you who joined us last week may have remembered I was a little bit tired. And honestly, I'm still recovering. I'm still tired.
So you know what? Before we talk about how important sleep is,
yes,
maybe we can talk about why we're so tired as a reminder.
As a reminder that 40-year-old and up, maybe even 30-year-old and up individuals should not stay up all night long and then get on a plane at 6 a.m.
Right, like wake up, go all day,
hang out. Lots of eating. Lots of...
Not a lot of activity, a lot of eating.
A lot of eating.
A lot of talking.
Yes, a lot of enjoyment with close friends. And then staying up all night.
Yeah.
Until the next day, like all night long.
Right. Staying up, just talking, not partying, no alcohol involved, no.
That was enough. And I'm
no drugs except for the drug of love.
I'm still paying for it, but it was totally worth it. But rest is so important. Yeah.
So this is a rare thing that we try, which we don't do this often, where we stay up for that long. But we definitely paid the price, and the price is paid not just physically, but mentally. You just feel like you can't function. So let's break down the lyrics really quick of rule number 3.
And I am on for questions.
Best to rest your body. So think about this, right? Brain cell bless up. Basically because your brain kind of is in charge of secreting a lot of hormones and stuff. But there was a study done that had 2 different groups of people, and the people were same age in each group. They were both on the same calorie restricted diet. The only difference was that group A averaged 8.5 hours of sleep, and group B averaged 5.5 hours of sleep.
Okay, so we'd be in group C last week.
Group C, right, but this is like
group
over
C
the course
failed.
of time.
So, but typically, where do you guys lie? Most of you guys maybe, in group B?
I think B. I think a lot of people are 5.5 hours.
Especially, even the youth, you ask these kids how much sleep they're getting. They're definitely not getting their 8 hours. So I think most people are in that B group.
B group, yeah. So they were separated into 2 groups. Exercise, restricted diet. Only difference is the amount of sleep. The group that averaged 8.5 hours of sleep lost an average of 55% more body fat than group B. Now, why is that? Because that's how important sleep is, how important rest is for you. And here's the thing, the secret to weight loss, quote unquote, or getting leaner is not necessarily your exercise routine or your calories. Yes, those are important, but if you're not getting your rest, then you're messing with your hormones. And hormones are the big boss. Or how do the Jamaicans say big boss? Boss. They say boss, right? Something like that? I don't know. They say something like that. So sorry,
I'm delirious.
Yeah,
I'm so
right.
tired.
So your hormones are the big boss of, or your sleep is the big boss of your hormones. So if you're not sleeping, you're screwing up with your hormones. If you are sleeping correctly, then what's going to happen is that human growth hormone, which is released the most when you have good sleep. Your melatonin is going to be increased. Those type of things will increase your brown adipose fatty tissue, which is better than the white, right? Which helps.
Well, naturally.
Obviously, brown's better than white. Inside joke there. And then in addition, so then what's happening is you're getting more mitochondria, which is the energy builders of the cell. You're building more muscle, right? Mm-hmm. Your cortisol levels, which are necessary, are reset properly when you sleep correctly. And all this means is that not only are you recovering, your hormones are being released, but you're going to be able to build more muscle, and muscle burns fat. And so if you don't
So
sleep,
I can just burn fat by sleeping?
yeah, you know all those so all
Because,
those studies that show
I
say
go burn some fat
right.
right now.
You know what? New training program, just laying down all day. No,
Best trainers ever.
right, and we're done. No, but I think the point is that it's part of an entire holistic approach, right?
Mhm.
So if you are exercising, if you are eating correctly, but you're not getting enough sleep,
Okay.
you're throwing away all that hard work, right? You still need to eat the right stuff. You still need to move around throughout the day. The body needs all of it, but do not neglect your sleep. Average 7 to 9 hours is what the average. So my goal is 7.
Yeah, so you're saying though, like, you know, say you have a really great workout, you had a productive day, you ate pretty good, but then you slept 3 hours that night.
Oh man, you just threw away all of your hard work because you're screwing up with the hormone cycle, right? As we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up, your cortisol never got a chance to reset, so then it's kind of like amped up. It's you're getting too much of that throughout the day, which causes you more stress, which doesn't allow you to get any of your gains. And then there's something else that I read about not getting enough sleep messing up with how your body absorbs glucose. So then the next day, even when you're eating quote unquote some healthy food, it gets converted into sugar more easily because your hormones are all screwed up. So sleep is super important, everybody.
Yeah, but people would rather probably get the extra TV time, or maybe, you know, extra time
See what you're doing there?
being
I
out and about, or, you know, having the late dinners, socializing, you know, like we were socializing last week, we sacrificed the sleep.
We
It
sacrifice sleep.
you know,
It's a one-time
it's
thing.
a
We don't do that
one-time
often, right?
Okay.
So like, let's say you're. I don't know who to attribute this quote to, but I love it. I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
It sounds so good. It sounds so Mike Boylean. It sounds like a Mike Boyle quote, but basically, it was said something like this: "We're like, yep, I hear everything you're saying. Sleep may affect your social life, right?
Right.
But if you don't get enough sleep, getting diabetes and cancer, that will also affect your social life. Let's not keep that in mind.
That's
keep that in
true.
mind. So,
Yeah, that is very Mike Boyle.
doesn't it sound like something
Nice.
you'd
So
say?
that's
So-
a shout out to Mike Boyle.
Right. So I just
watching.
think that you have to weigh the risk to reward,
Okay.
and all of these things accumulate over time. And so if you, for a long period of time, consistently, I'll preview for next week. If you consistently don't get sleep, then you're going to get a problem.
And so, for those of you who are just joining us, we are covering the 10 Fit Commandments. By the
Correct.
way, that's why Oscar started off rapping. For those of you, for some reason, who are perusing our channel and just coming upon the 4D Fit Food podcast, we are covering our 10 Fit Commandments, and this week we are covering rule number 3.
Best to rest your body. And you know what? I'm going to just put it out there on a limb that my 2 to 3 regular viewers
Yes,
probably watch my video.
they
I
probably
hope.
do. They probably do.
So they know that we're talking about that. Okay, so let's talk real quickly to wrap this up.
Okay.
In a nice little bow.
Yeah, because there's a lot of science going on. I feel like you needed a whiteboard with all that medical and
Yeah.
science jargon.
We're talking strategeries. So,
And I'm resting. I'm
And you're
displaying rest. That
You're
is my
displaying your
contribution to today's episode.
so if we say that you should be averaging 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day, how can we go about doing it? There is a guy named Craig Ballantyne who had this simple formula that he called the 10-3-2-1 formula. Easy to remember. Numbers are easy to remember. So 10 hours before sleep, no caffeine. 3 hours before sleep, no alcohol. 2 hours before sleep, no food. 1 hour before sleep, no computers. No work. Spend that hour with a loved one. Is that correct? It was pretty good, right?
Well, it is from Mr. Valentine, so it makes complete sense.
Craig Ballantyne.
Oh,
with a B.
Valentine. Oh, I heard wrong. It would have been better if it were Valentine.
So, spend time with a loved one. We sometimes listen to audiobooks. Which are
Yeah,
quite good.
actually, that has been kind of...
Nice way to kind of
Yeah, we've actually, I think, gotten less TV, screen, time by doing audiobooks, or even sometimes music. We just listen to the tunes.
We start doing, just like light dancing, not super aggressive, right? And I think it's a sleep ritual. So
Yeah.
if you want to have good sleep, it kind of even starts in the morning. Like when you wake up, you should wake up maybe get a little bit of sunshine, get some vitamin D, have a good breakfast, right? Do your stuff throughout the day, but then when it's time for bed, let's say that you want to get to bed at 11 p.m. Well, around 10 o'clock or maybe even a little bit earlier, turn off the TV, stop focusing on work, start winding down, maybe journaling, which we've talked about in the past, listening to an audiobook.
Joy mobility,
staring into each other's eyes intently, doing something that will start winding your body down, and try to stay away from the screens because the screens are imitating kind of sunlight, right? It's basically you're looking at the sun, but when you shouldn't be. And so your hormones don't know what they should be secreting, right? When the sun goes down, and traditionally you're getting kind of these more reddish lights, right? Then your cortisol goes down and your melatonin goes up, which prepares you for sleep. But if you are looking into a screen right before bed, you can still fall asleep and you can still sleep for a long time. However, your melatonin is not working. So melatonin is the getting good sleep hormone, not just sleeping. Because some people say, no, I can watch TV and fall asleep while watching TV. And I was like, and the thing is your quality of your sleep. What's going on with your hormones, which affects so many other things.
Absolutely.
Is a problem.
Yeah.
So that's the 10-3.
We did have a suggestion for getting good sleep here from a regular.
So interested.
I'm just going to read the censored version, which is don't have kids. So thank you for that comment. I think also, you can just lock the kids in a room and put them to sleep, right? And don't they just magically fall asleep?
You're talking to two professionals.
Yeah, we are professionals, which is why we should be getting 8 hours minimum of sleep.
Two no-kid experts right here. But listen, Game of Thrones is coming up, right? Well, listen, if that's going to affect your sleep, just wait till the next day and walk around.
Impossible!
Or, try not to make it a habit, right? The thing is, every once in a while you're hanging out with people.
Every once in a while you stay up all night, and the next thing you know, it's time for your flight.
But if over the course of the year or the month you're consistently not getting enough sleep, it will catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in all honesty and seriousness, I've definitely felt the effects of that when I was making a documentary, when I did directed Journey to the West stage show, and when I'm doing like special projects on top of my regular daily life. So, it's definitely not without consequence. We could say things like, totally guilty here, but I get so much done, I'm so productive and everything. But when you're not healthy and you get the adverse effects, it does catch up with you, especially as you do get up in your years. So once you are the young age of 40 and up, we do recommend you follow these rules, because that's why we're doing this podcast. So
here's the thing.
We can give you our tips and advice as what we're feeling as we're feeling it, and that we do. I think not that a 20-year-old doesn't have repercussions from not sleeping, but they bounce back a little quicker. So
but
again, 1 week later.
But taking it to like that classic 7 habits of highly effective people, one of those habits is begin with the end in mind. So we are doing this now in our 40s. Why? So that our 70s and 80s.
So we could be like my dad.
Basically, everything is be like your dad at 80.
So
but if
like
you're 20 years old and looking at this, then if you want to feel good at 30 or 40, what you're doing now is going to affect.
Yeah.
So what you do now, you're not doing it just for today, right? You're doing it and doing it consistently so that 10 years, 20 years down the road, you're going to feel the benefits of that. And not to get super morbid here, but it's not that you may end up living a much longer life, but do you want those last few years to be like really crappy years? Bedridden, sick,
miserable,
or do you
achy.
want them to be, fun, exciting times?
Yeah,
right? That you're having a good time. So I'll leave you with this thing too: is even if you train 4 hours a day every single day, you still got 20 hours to screw it up. So spend those 20 hours recovering. Recover like a boss. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna keep recovering here.
Any other questions?
No questions, just our commenters, just actually they're lucky kids. Their kids sleep well. So if your kids sleep well, then you should be sleeping well also. So everybody get your rest. Join us next week, same time, 7:45, and we will be doing rule number 4. So if you need a refresher, please click on our link to watch that awesome music video or on our YouTube link.
Real quick before we finish.
Okay.
Huge shout out to EO for remixing the 10 Fit Commandments with the original Biggie track. I will put that out there if I get a request. I'm
Maybe
looking
we'll just play it in the background
Next time.
next week or something. You know.
Great
I
idea.
think we can do that. So,
Until then.
yes. So thank you guys for tuning
Oh
in.
wait, I just want to give a shout out to Ann Lucas. He is my hero. I just want him to know that. And hold the line, sir. Hold the line.
He said you're still his hero.
Oh,
So,
that's nice. That's very
yeah,
nice.
very, very nice. Very
All right.
nice.
We will
Thank
talk
you
soon.
guys for tuning
Okay.
in. See you next week. Get
Peace
your
out.
sleep.